Hey there, everybody. It's a big Thursday recap. We're going to talk about some college basketball, and we're going to talk about better news when it comes to opening day of baseball here on Thursday. First, we'll start out with the big bracket challenge. We're going to go over the entrance. Big day today. Algorithm did not have a good day here in this Sweet 16. I mean, yikes. 1-3, Arizona, the big number one team that we had on the list at the top, they lose. I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can say is after looking at the scores and the results, the scores, we had Clemson losing 77 to 88. They put up exactly 77 points. So we got their projected total exactly correct, but they held Arizona to 72. So I don't know whether Arizona couldn't score or Clemson's defense just outperformed. That's probably what happened. So no Arizona. Connecticut walks. Notice we had predicted 83 points for Connecticut. They put up 82. They hold San Diego State to even less. And then this game right here, I mean, the scores actually don't look that bad in the projections, but the winners were bad from the algorithm. We had this being the highest scoring game, 86-86 between Alabama and North Carolina. Alabama pulls this game off in the end, 89-87. So score prediction really good when it comes to total points. And of course, we thought that game would be very close. Alabama wins that. Illinois over Iowa State. Everybody who thought Illinois was going to win over Iowa State, I owe you guys Sprap coins. There's a few people that made that pick in the comments. Send me your SUI wallet. You will get some Sprap coins. No, we're going to keep giving away Sprap coins. You get all the Sprap coins you want. So that's another loser for the algorithm, though. Algorithm at Iowa State, nope. 1-3. So let's take a look at the bracket. And the bracket in our tournament here. Who's winning? Well, Josh Holthouse has made a run. Wes Lewis was up here winning this thing before this round from today, Thursday. Josh Holthouse, he must have had Clemson. I mean, right? He must have had Clemson. I mean, let's see here. Who had Clemson? Actually, let's look and see if anybody had Clemson. As we look through all the results, I just want to see what Josh has here. Because Josh is in the lead, and it's the first time I've seen his name on the top of the list. Way to go, Josh. Both Holthouses are doing well. They're probably from Georgia. Does he have Clemson? No, he did not have Clemson winning in this round. Or did he? Are we in the third round? What round are we in? Yeah, no, this is the third round, actually. No, he did have Clemson. He has them losing in the next round. But he got those points here. That's what happened. So that's kind of what puts him ahead. You can see he has Clemson winning in the third round, and then he has Connecticut and Creighton. This is what his look. He had Alabama. That's why. He had Alabama in this round. He has Alabama winning another 2 rounds, actually. So that's really what happened there, is Josh started to really pick off some underdogs, and he's got some wins, and that's why he's taken the lead in this tournament. So good for Josh. As we keep track of this, we're starting to get closer to the end of it. As you can see, there's still a lot of people that are close, but not really. It's going to be Josh, Greg, Wes, or maybe Brooklyn, who has a lot of potential points remaining as well, or maybe Jane. These are the people that have the best chance of winning this. And even down here, Mary Rose as well. It's possible. You really need to pay attention to those possible points. But that's enough college basketball talk. Let's talk about something that actually won today. Start of the baseball season. A lot of interesting things to talk about here. I'm not going to release tomorrow's picks to everybody. We're not doing a video. I'm going to just send it to those who've purchased a subscription to the algorithm, because it's too valuable at this point in the season for me to give all this stuff away to the odds makers. So you have to pay me for it. Sorry to everybody who wants free baseball picks. Not happening the first few weeks of the season, but you can go purchase a copy. It'll be worth it, and you'll see why. So today, what we talked about Cleveland being the pick of the day. They did win. which means I'm adding some liquidity to the Sprap crypto coin, as I said I was going to do. They won 8-0. Just annihilated it. Great. That's what we want to see. Detroit wins the game 1-0. Dodgers crush it. Houston was a loser. And somebody had the Yankees plus 1.5. I owe you 100 Sprap coins as well because the Yankees won this game by 1. Arizona crushed it. Baltimore crushed it. Seattle's losing by 2 in the 9th inning. I'm assuming they're going to lose to Boston. The rest of these games are complete. So one thing you want to look at with baseball is what I'm mentioning is what is the margin? What's the margin? Are teams with higher margins winning? You can see we win every game that's over 11% margin. Only one of the games that's over 10% margin loses, and that's the Houston game where they lose by 1. And you end up going 5-1 in the top 6, and then it starts to drop off. And it looks like Seattle's going to lose this game. Pittsburgh also lost a game in extra innings. Sorry, Miami lost a game to Pittsburgh in extra innings. And all right, so how does this look? Right, it looks okay. You're profitable all the way down to the 9% margin. You end up making 11% profit if you take all of these teams on the money line to win, all the way down to Seattle. And that's kind of what I would recommend, at least the top 4 and probably everything that's here in green and yellow. So all these teams is basically what it was saying to play. And if you play the top 4 games, you make 18% ROI or 0.72 units. And if you bet $100 on each one of these teams, you end up wagering $400 and you end up with $472 at the end of the day. That's the kind of thing the baseball algorithm does. Now, was there a better combination string than the one that we used? We used combination string 299, which was this distribution of variables up here. Well, I ran the macro to look for better combination strings, and combination string 7 crushed it. What is combination string 7? Let's take a look. I don't even know. We'll find out. Combination string 7 is all average runs for per game. That's funny. So today was a day where offense mattered. How about that? It ends up going, that's not a stat you want to use every day. So that's just happenstance is what happened there today. It's last year's average runs per game. Look at what that does. It goes 11-2 with only Houston and Tampa Bay losing up top. So you can also see that you lose 2 out of the top 3 games with that distribution, but you happen to win the rest of them. That's pretty much an accident. So you don't really want to go with just that stat. All right. But it is kind of weird to see that it was a very offensive day. Are there any other combinations that did good? Yeah, here are some other combinations. And how about combination? You want one that's got 9 wins. So these 4 have 9 wins, and you want the one with the highest margin. 5, 8, 419, 282, and 109. Let's see what combination 5 was. I'm pretty sure that's just one where it's one stat. Yeah, bullpen ERA factor. Yeah, these are all just luck, basically. You want to go with one where there's a better distribution. How about this 419? Let's see this 419 one. Because you also want to look at scores and how the scores did. So here's combination 419, because I'm trying to see what are we going to go with tomorrow, right? So here you go, 9-4. Once again, with your Cleveland on top, then Detroit, then the Dodgers, Houston losing. This one gets Baltimore up higher and Arizona up higher, who put up like 16 runs today against Colorado in Arizona. Then Seattle, then Minnesota, then Miami, then Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay-Toronto game was just a game that you lost by like 6 runs. I don't know, maybe Tampa Bay is not as good this year, or Toronto had some offense. But then it switches around and it gets things like San Diego beating San Francisco, and it gets Texas also winning a game in extra innings over Chicago. So we're going to go with combination 419 tomorrow for all those who have a copy of the algorithm. This is pretty good. This is profitable almost completely all the way down the list, with the exception of these last two games here. It doesn't have any underdogs on this list. But none of the underdogs, I mean, the only underdogs that won today were the Yankees, Boston, Pittsburgh, and Toronto. So this is what we will go with tomorrow. It had a good day, even with the distribution that I originally set up with and went with. Cleveland did win, and they won 8-0. And the only team that won by more runs than that was Arizona, and their line was worse. So we're calling the algorithm a successful day one, because it was profitable in the games that you were supposed to play. And the only thing you really lost up top was Houston to the Yankees. And I don't know if they lost in extra innings, but they lost by only 1 run. So the Yankees probably picked up some other players. We'll have to see if any of the Yankees were missing lineup factor people, because that would have a little impact. The way you can look at that is by looking in the batting order sheet and seeing what we had down for our rostered list of players. No, we had players in here for every single position on the Yankees. We did. So they just outplayed what we had in here. But anyway, no projection video tomorrow, but there is an email going out to all those that subscribe to the MLB algorithm. So if you want a copy, go to kenbraverman.com, follow the links, or buy some Sprap coins. Do something. You got to contribute if you want a piece of this. Yes, buy Sprap coins. That's right. Do that, and you can expect some good things, because I'm going to start incorporating current season stats into the MLB algorithm starting on Saturday. It's not going to crash because I own all of them, like almost all of them. It can't crash. I would have to do what's called a rug pull on the Sprap coin in order to have the value of it decrease substantially. Like, I own so many of them. I own 98% of them, or 99% of them. It's not always going to be that way, but it is that way now. So you don't have to worry about it crashing in value. I'm just trying to get them out there. We need to have a lot of people holding them and using them. But as you can see, the whole point of using the algorithms to inflate the value of the Sprap coin is to do exactly what I said I was going to do today, which was take the number 1 pick and wager on it when it's at a reasonable line, and then take the winnings and put them into the Sprap coin. So I said I was going to do that with Cleveland. There was no problem with Cleveland today. There was a problem in college basketball with Arizona today. That did not work out. It did not work out. But Alabama plus 5.5 points worked out. Iowa State did not work out. So you can see that while college basketball is usually generally pretty predictive, you get deep into the tournament like this, these are all good teams. It does get a little harder. And I don't know what happened with Arizona today. I guess they didn't want to play at home in the Final Four, right? Because it was in Phoenix, I think, this year. But yeah, baseball can be a little bit easier. You've got longer untimed games for the most part. And of course, more stats to go over, so that you end up with things like Cleveland essentially never being in doubt and winning this game 8-0. Not a problem, right? So good luck, everyone. Go purchase copies of the MLB algorithm. Get emails from me from now until April 15th and learn how to update it yourself, because I will be not updating it every day. It's a very long summer. And the video that will be happening on Friday, even though it's Friday now, but the video that will be up predictions on Friday will be a NBA and NHL video. We'll talk about hockey as we're getting close to the hockey playoffs. It's getting to be a really exciting time. There were some really fantastic hockey games that happened today. And our Washington Capitals, our hometown team, who are staying in DC, by the way, they are not moving to Virginia. They're staying at Capital One Arena in DC. They're a couple points in playoff wildcard contention right now, and they're ahead of Detroit.
Oh, freaking Patrick Kane comes along and scores 10 points.
Wait, don't worry about Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane is old.
Rivaling with us right now because they're the only team contending for a playoff spot with us.
Yeah, it's the Caps or Detroit, and Detroit did root.
one of the best players on their team.
Detroit ruined the lives of all the Caps fans in, I believe it was 1999.
No, 1980 something.
No, it was 1999, I think, when we had Oldie the goalie Kolzig playing for us. And we got swept. We make it all the way to the Stanley Cup finals. The first time the Caps ever made it there. And we don't even get a win because we run into Fedorov and yeah. I remember watching those games with friends here in DC. Anyway,
And then
we don't have all night here. It's bedtime. Just
six.
you're not supposed to be up this late. It's spring break. That's the only reason you're up this late. Yeah, it's late. It's time to go to sleep. So wanted to give everyone the update because baseball did what it's supposed to do. And a lot of times these teams at the top of the list are going to do that. So if you want to get in on this and don't have a copy of the algorithm yet, like I said, go to kenbraverman.com. It's $100, but you're going to get daily emails from me, and it is worth it if you want to just keep track of projections of all these games. All right, good luck, everyone. Like I said, the video tomorrow will be about NBA and about NHL and actually about MLS soccer too, as well, believe it or not. Going to update some of the less frequently updated algorithms to give you a chance at those. And you can, and we'll talk about the college basketball games, but I already talked about them as well in a previous video. So we won't worry too much about it. Will be a lot of fun to watch those games. It's Gonzaga at Duke. Like, before I cut this video off, let's just double check. You want to look at the order of this list because when we look at both Thursday and Friday, you see that Marquette, Houston, and Purdue and Tennessee. But the Tennessee-Creighton game supposed to be an extremely close game. Like, look at both Iowa State and North Carolina, both losing down here. So expect this to be a battle down here. These games, more likely, I know there's that potential injury on Duke I talked about in the previous video. Marquette over NC State, that should happen up there. And then Purdue, the Purdue Gonzaga game, like, that is such a, that's better than any NBA game to watch, in my opinion. Gonzaga has a huge fan base, and it's the only sport that they play at that school. And Purdue's got Zach Edey, who is a giant in so many ways. And it's terribly watchable. So that will be, I know he's a giant. He's a giant on the court in his size, in the way he plays, and his personality. He's just always got. He's a giant. They play him different. Like, you can't guard him. Like, you just constantly. There you go. Giant personality. All right, so we're off. I know we keep talking. Go buy scrap coins. Go buy algorithms. Do what you're gonna do, and enjoy all the sports that we follow every single day. All right. Good luck. May all your picks be winning. See ya. There we go.